We be live. Shalom, everyone. Okay, great. I see Gene is in the private chat. Gene is going to be highlighting your comments, guys. Make sure you like the stream and also make sure that your comments are there. I want to see what your opinions are about what the hell is happening right now in Syria. So your comments are going to be part of the stream. Again, on Atheist Republic, the audience is a big part of the show because your comments get highlighted. And I hope, Gene, can you highlight some of the comments so that we see this is happening? Durud, durud, shalom, shalom, salam, salam. Hi to everyone. This is fantastic. Okay, great. Guys, let me know how interested you are in the Syria situation, because this is crazy what's happening right now. And I'm going to basically look at not just what's happening, but also I'm going to highlight the Syrian Girl. I don't know if you guys know who she is, but I'm going to use her as an exhibit A for pro-Assad, the resistance front, the pro-Islamic Republic militia, pro-Russian side propaganda. I think this studying the Syrian Girl is a good way for you to understand what the other side is saying. So I'm going to use her as an education excuse. By the way, here, this is what I'm talking about. I know. Do you guys know who I'm talking about? This is the Syrian Girl right here. Okay. Do you know her? Are you familiar with her? She's very famous. Okay. And she's a major source of propaganda. Hi, everyone. People in the chat. Okay. Hello. Who do we root for? Nobody right now. Well, Israel, obviously, but right now, it's a freaking mess. I'm gonna go over how big of a mess this is. Right now, we just observe. We're not rooting for anyone in this right now. In this, do you guys agree? Like right now, the situation in Syria, we are not rooting for anyone. Anyone. I don't even know if this is a good situation for Israel or not. We'll see. Okay, it's bad for the Islamic Republic, so that's good. Israel, we could investigate. We will investigate. But do you guys know what's happening? Should we do a quick intro before we go over the propaganda for people who might not know what's happening? Maybe let me just do a 1-minute video so people know that what's happening. Okay, so and maybe we should do a few second summary of how we got here. How about that? Okay, so let's watch this first. This is a rebel. Actually, this has no commentary. Let me get one with a commentary because I want you guys to know what the hell is happening. Okay, here, let me do this one instead. Yeah, this is a good short one. Let me do this one. So here, let's get up to date.
On the move at pace. For years, the front lines of Syria's civil war have seemed frozen. This week, they've shattered. These are the insurgent fighters of Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, listed a terror group by the UN Security Council. Since Wednesday, they've made lightning gains from the forces of the Syrian regime of Bashar.
Guys, when he says lightning gains, it's an understatement. Okay, the speed at which they managed to expand their territory. I mean, Aleppo either has fallen or half of it has fallen. I don't know. Like, we're getting a lot of different contradictory reports right now, but they managed to get so much territory in such a short amount of time. We're talking about the HTS. Again, this group came out of Al-Qaeda. Okay, some people are saying, well, no, they disavowed them, and now there's a whole bunch of other people in there that are moderate. Yeah, I don't know about that. Okay, they're Salafis. They might be a little bit more nationalistic than original Al-Qaeda, but these people came out of Al-Qaeda. Okay, they're the Al-Nusra Front and stuff like that. They used to be Al-Qaeda. They came out of that group. So these are the people who are fighting Assad right now, and they're winning aggressively right now. It depends in the next couple of hours, maybe even right now. I don't know if we see if Russia enters the game more aggressively than it has right now, because Russia is missing, Hezbollah is missing, the Islamic Republic is missing. I wonder why they're occupied. They're occupied or non-existent because thanks to Israel and Ukraine right now. So that explains how fast they're expanding. But the territory that they managed to gain is the territory that took Hezbollah and Russia and Islamic Republic, back in, 2015, 2016, like a long period of time to recapture. And these people, poof, all of it is now back to HTS. By the way, I know a lot of people from Syria. I don't know, are there any Syrians in the live chat? If I call these people Al Qaeda, a lot of you are going to get offended. They're like, no, I mean, they're not just Al Qaeda. There's a lot of moderate people in there as well. I see a lot of people in Syria are trying to whitewash these people, or at least say that they're not being led by HTS. You know, HTS is basically this group that used to be Al Qaeda, right? The Syrian version of Al Qaeda, right? And they're trying to pretend like it's not being led. I know it's a mix of all different groups, a mix of a whole bunch of different groups, but come on, it's being led by the HTS. Right? It's been so it's been led by them, and I know a lot of Syrians hate Assad so much that they are welcoming any group coming in and destroying Assad. But this is Al Qaeda, okay? This is, well, it's not Al Qaeda, but it's Al Qaeda-ish. It has its origins in Al Qaeda. So Arjun is saying, are we supporting Assad or not? We will never be supporting Assad. What, Arjun? Why would you even ask that? Arjun, why would we support Assad? We're not supporting any of these. I will tell you, we support Israel and the people of Iran. I will tell you what is the best outcome for Israel, in my opinion. Okay, we will get there. But let's first get updated about what's happening, and then we will get to Syrian Girl, and then we will get to who's who, and who do we root for, and what do we want to see. Not that it matters, but it's interesting to just analyze it like that, right? Because it's not like what we want just because we want something. It's not going to have any effect on the reality on the ground. But let's finish this video first.
Bashar al-Assad and his Russian and Iranian allies, seizing dozens of villages, closing in on the big prize, Aleppo.
Wait. Like, I'm going to respond to this guy. Jason is saying anyone fighting and gaining territory screaming Allahu Akbar is generally not a good thing for Israel. Well, Jason, that's not okay. So the people who might argue against you is they would say that unless they're shouting Allahu Akbar while fighting people who are a greater threat to Israel, right? So you have to think who in Syria. Who's a greater threat to Israel? Is it Assad or is it the HTS? These people, okay? This guy, right? The HTS or Assad? Who do you think is a greater threat? And the people who would argue against you, they say like, yeah, HTS is Al Qaeda. We hate Al Qaeda. I mean, it's not Al Qaeda. It's Al Qaeda-ish. It came from Al Qaeda, and we hate. These are terrorists. We hate them, but they are never going to be as strong and as equipped and as organized as Hezbollah, who gets its support from the Islamic Republic through Iraq, through Syria, to Lebanon. These HTS people, okay, they hate the Islamic Republic. They hate the Islamic Republic with a passion. So if they will never be able to be as an organized of a threat to Israel as the Islamic Republic of Iran in Iran and its proxies. So if they are holding over Syria, there's guys, why do you think Al Qaeda and ISIS never attacked Israel in a significant way? Because they're just a bunch of terrorist groups. They don't have the army, they don't have the equipment, the know-how, the resources to go at Israel. Only the Islamic Republic in Iran and its axis of resistance has any capability to be a threat to Israel. So if these people come and take over Syria, again, this is not my argument, I'm just saying what the counter is. Then because these people are, they hate Shias more than they hate Israel, some of them, right? So Iran, the Islamic Republic in Iran, will lose its access to its proxies in Lebanon. It will not be able to equip them as much anymore. So yeah, they might be terrorists, but they will basically the Shia crescent that the Islamic Republic has been trying to build in the Middle East. If they come in the middle of that, then some people would argue, well, maybe that's not a bad thing if basically the Islamic Republic loses its access to Lebanon. Do you see what I'm saying? I'm not arguing that. I will tell you why I'm not arguing that, but I'm just saying what the counter is. Anyways, let's continue. By the way, these people are not ISIS. There are some people who have ISIS sympathizers in them. There are some people who are ISIS sympathizers, but they're closer to Al-Qaeda than they're ISIS. These people were ISIS killers, actually, because they were mostly used to be Al-Qaeda. Anyways, let's continue.
These are areas where the Iranian militia and the Assad militia were stationed and were bombing civilians. And now, praise be to God, after their expulsion from these areas, God willing, the civilians will return to their homeland.
This evening, HTS fighters had reached the center of Aleppo, removing the Syrian flag flying next to a statue of Assad's brother. Regime defenses reported to have withdrawn in disarray. But from the air, Syrian and Russian planes and drones have been fighting back. The UN says 27 civilians have been killed in the renewed fighting. Aid agencies say 14,000 people have been displaced. If the speed of this assault has surprised, it hasn't come from nowhere. Last month, the UN Special Envoy to Syria warned of the risk of a military, economic and humanitarian storm breaking there. While Bashar...
Yeah, by the way, guys, the analysts that I'm following, they're not surprised that this attack happened. Apparently, everybody saw that this attack is about to happen, given that Russia is occupied in Ukraine and Hezbollah is missing its head, and the Islamic Republic is losing its proxies. People expected this will happen. This is why Assad did a preemptive attack, and then the HTS did a response. Okay, but what people didn't see coming is the lack of resistance to the HTS's takeover. The HTS basically came, so Assad attacked them, and the HTS's responded. Basically, Assad, I think, it was trying to preemptively attack the HTS because I think they also saw that the HTS is going to see like, oh my God, all my enemy's friends are occupied somewhere else. So the HTS is fighting Assad, and Assad, who saved Assad last time from ISIS? Who saved Assad last time from ISIS? It was Russia and the Islamic Republic of Iran and Hezbollah. Where are they right now? They're busy somewhere else. Israel has taken care of them, in one of them, the Islamic Republic and its proxies, and Russia is occupied with Ukraine. So the HTS is like, okay, this is a fantastic time for me to attack Assad. However, there's some speculation for why did they wait until right after the ceasefire? So guys, think about this. If the HTS wanted to attack Assad, why did they wait exactly until the ceasefire was announced between Hezbollah and Israel, and the very day after they were like, okay, now it's time? Some people speculate, and I don't know if they're right, is that they didn't want the conspiracy theories that right now, it's happening right now. You can see the Syrian Girl is spreading those conspiracies because that they are basically with Israel. I know, guys, I don't know if you're familiar with these conspiracies here on this channel, if you're new here. So Israel is responsible for everything bad that ever happens on this planet, okay? Including, apparently, according to these conspiracy theories, the existence of ISIS and Al-Qaeda. In fact, guys, if you didn't know, ISIS is Israel, and Al-Qaeda is Israel as well. Yeah, I know that you didn't know that, but I'm not joking. This is actually these people's analysis. I will show you some memes and some analysis by these people to show you that I'm not kidding. Okay, so given that HTS used to be Al-Qaeda and now HTS is fighting Assad, the pro-Assad Syrians are now suggesting that this is Israel attacking Assad. Okay, and they have evidence for their claim, which we will get to that as well. Okay. I'm here saying, why, of course ISIS is Israel. Yeah, of course. Guys, I'm not kidding. I will show you their arguments. Okay, so let's get into it. But let's finish this so that you're up to date.
Bashar al-Assad has been readmitted to the Arab Leaders Club here in Riyadh this month. His key military allies have been distracted by their own concerns. Russia with Ukraine, Iran with Israel. Israel has also been intensifying its strikes on Iranian and Hezbollah targets inside Syria, further opening up opportunities for the anti-regime militias. The rebel stronghold of Idlib has, though, been under heavy attack from the air. This war, never fully dormant, is now resurgent. And even as Syrians in Aleppo celebrate tonight the ejection of regime forces, they know from bitter experience just how much deadlier things can still get from here.
Wait, so yeah, that was Channel 4 News. Thank you so much for that, Channel 4. But let me give you this. This is from the channel TLDR Global, right? So this is a good summary of how we got here for people who need an history update. We're not going to go into the details, but the Arab Spring, remember, happened in around 2011, and this, you can see the rebel offensive basically started from 2011 to 2015. And you can see the NATO was indirectly helping the rebel forces offensives against Assad at that time. And the Islamic Republic got involved before ISIS. The ISIS basically took advantage of this chaos to take over large parts of Syria and Iraq. So you can see that ISIS, you saw so phase one was the rebel offensives from 2011 to 2015. And you can see there is an overlap when ISIS came. And ISIS basically started fighting Assad, and the Islamic Republic claims that they entered Syria to fight ISIS, but actually we have videos of them admitting that they actually came in before ISIS was a thing to actually fight the rebel offensives against Assad, and then ISIS became a thing after. So ISIS was a thing, you can see from here, from 2014 till 2018, and this is the Kurdish control was started in 2016 all the way to actually till now, to be honest. The northeast of Syria is basically Kurdish control. Do you want me to go over the acronyms and all the groups that are involved, because we have so many groups? I made a list of everybody involved, okay? All the different groups, okay? So the PKK, the YPG, the SDF, the FSA, ISIS, Jabhat al-Nusra, HTS, Assad's forces, Hezbollah, Turkey, the Islamic Republic in Iran, and Russia. Okay, and United States. Do you want me to, let me know if you want me to basically tell you what each one of these groups are, how they're involved. And I also got some really good maps from the channel Good Times, Bad Times. I think that's the name of the channel. And I could go over who's doing where at where. Okay. But before doing that, let's go to the Syrian. So that's not the Kurdish. I didn't pick the Kurdish flag. That's what they did. Okay. It's the channel TLDR Global. Okay. So I didn't pick the flag. But let me actually show you one meme before we continue. Let me see, to show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so I was watching this. Hold on. I was watching this mullah. This is one mullah that I often watch. He's active on YouTube, so I watch him. So look, so the meme he was sharing. This is the argument that you see this. It says United States here. And it says Daesh here. Daesh means ISIS. And this says Israel. So basically, this meme is suggesting the United States is micromanaging basically everything. And they were first Israel. So United States sends Israel to fight the resistance, meaning the Islamic Republic and its proxies. And now Israel is coming out. And now United States, basically, by the way, this shows that they are very ill-informed, because they shouldn't write ISIS. They should have written Al-Qaeda, because the HTS is closer to Al-Qaeda, not to ISIS. So basically, this meme is suggesting the United States is now basically asking Israel to stop fighting, and now they're sending in ISIS, meaning the HTS. So basically, they're saying this is all being micromanaged and controlled by United States. That's what they're suggesting. And you can see here, let's see for the Syrian girl, what is she? By the way, I know there are different words that you could use. Any words that I use, some people are going to be offended, right? If I call HTS Al-Qaeda, or if I suggest, I mean, people know HTS is Al-Qaeda, but if I suggest that the groups that are fighting Bashar Assad right now, they're HTS and Al-Qaeda related, a lot of people in Syria will get offended by me, because a lot of people in Syria are very excited by the possibility that Assad might fall, and they don't want, for example, us to demonize the fighting that is happening against Assad. And if they were here, they will probably say, like, I mean, it's not just HTS. There's a whole bunch of other people there. To be honest, it's mostly the HTS. It's mostly the HTS, okay? But there are other people that if we call them, I don't know, rebels, like if you call them freedom fighters, then a lot of people will be pissed off. Like, oh, what the fuck? These are Islamists. These are terrorists. Don't call them freedom fighters. But even the word rebel, I mean, they are rebels, but rebel sometimes has a positive, sometimes it has a freedom fighting tone to it. So some people would not like that as well. Depends on your side, okay? But I'm just telling you how things are. You could decide who do you want to. Okay, so first of all, when people say, oh, breaking, we get breaking right away. Breaking, Israeli backed. Look, Israeli backed Al Qaeda terrorists are tearing down Christmas trees in Aleppo. So actually, let me zoom in. This is fantastic. So Syrian Girl, who supports Assad, she wants to show Assad being a secular, democratic person, and these are terrorists, and terrorists, Al Qaeda and ISIS. They're all from creations of Israel, and they want to show that, like, look, in under Assad, you have a government that is secular. They have Christmas. They're not Islamist. They're not religious, and you anti-Assad people are hypocrites, because when it suits you, anybody that is Islamic, you call them terrorists. When they're doing, you call them Islamic terrorists when they are basically fighting Israel. But at the same time, actual Islamic terrorists when they're fighting a secular guy. So somebody like Syrian Girl, she's not an Islamist. She is part of the axis of resistance. She is the part of the axis of resistance that is anti-Israel without being Islamic. So they think that this whole accusation of Islamism, it's a propaganda. It's a misdirection. It's a way to use people's anti-Islam views to basically demonize the people who are fighting for the right to govern their own countries, right? They think like Israel is pure evil, and United States and Israel they're trying. This is not about religion. This is about control. This is about Israel and United States trying to control the area, and they will call the enemies, their own enemies, Islamists when it suits them, but they themselves will go support Islamists, even though these Islamists are basically, if they're fighting against a secular state. And they think Assad is secular, and this is one evidence because, like, look, these are the actual terrorists. They're tearing down a Christmas tree, right? And Assad is actually a secular guy, as proven by his tie. I don't know what. Okay, so let's see. The Israeli-backed terrorists have hit the fan. Oh, okay, this is their last push before their end. Okay, so they're very confident that this will not, Assad will not fall, because they're saying that we have seen this before. We saw how it played out before. No, so they're not pan-Arabists, because they're actually pan-Arabists don't believe in Syria as a country or Lebanon as a country. They want to unite all of this together. I don't know if Syrian Girl is considered a pan-Arabist. Syrian Girl is a Syrian pro-Assad nationalist. That's how I would describe it. An anti-Semite, an anti-Israeli, secular Syrian pro-Assad nationalist. I don't know more about whether or not she's pan-Arab. I've never seen her make pan-Arabist claims, so I don't know if she even mentions being Arab or the Arab identity. I think she just focuses on her Syrian identity. I don't know if she's a pan-Arabist. Anyway, so because if you are a Syrian nationalist, then how are you a pan-Arabist? Pan-Arabism wants to remove these borders and connect all of these together. Anyway, so she says that, yeah, but basically the argument that she's making here is that ISIS tried to basically remove Assad, and these people are basically the same, and they're trying to do the same, and they will fail again. However, the difference is, I don't know, I'm not saying Assad will fall. Maybe he will, maybe he will not. But Syrian Girl should not be this confident, because last time Assad had the Islamic Republic, Hezbollah, and Russia backing it up aggressively. I'm sure Russia is going to, at some point, do more airstrikes against the HTS. But right now, why are airstrikes by Russia mostly eastern? I saw like it's just the HTS is on the west. Is Russia pretending to support Assad while not supporting Assad? I don't know what's happening. We will see. Okay, but this is not the same thing because Russia is busy with Ukraine. Hezbollah has lost all its leaders and most of its ammunition, its missiles, and the Islamic Republic is basically fighting for its survival. So I don't know. This is not the same. Syrian Girl saying Assad isn't running. 2012 called it wants its propaganda back again. So she's basically saying it's going to be the same. It's not the same. Assad doesn't have as much support as he had before. And look, he's saying, stay calm and believe in the army. We have been through worse and beaten it. This is Syria. No, Syrian Girl, this is not. You haven't been through worse. This is actually worse. You have little support. You used to have a lot more support. So let me see what else she has to say. I want to say, listen to this,
because they killed Palestinians in Yarmouk.
Okay. So let's see what she has to say. She said Palestinians. I'm guessing that she wants to say that the HTS is anti-Palestinian, right? Guys, remember, the Syrian Girl's propaganda really relies on her audience being anti-Israeli, okay, and anti-Semitic. So if you want to demonize somebody, the best thing you could do for Syrian Girl's audience is to show their connection to Israel, and the best way to show their hatred towards the Palestinian people. So let's see what she has here. Let me see if she's going to make that claim.
Sectarian Zionist accounts say you shouldn't support Hezbollah because they killed Palestinians in Yarmouk camp. But Hezbollah didn't even take part in the Battle of Yarmouk camp.
Okay, so this is about something else. This is about Hezbollah. This is not about the recent attack. Let's see. Zionist traitors of Syria. So this is so interesting. The Zionists are not in Syria. She's talking about the HTS. The HTS stands for Hayat Tahrir al-Sham. Hayat, I know my Arabic pronunciation is not perfect, but Hayat, am I saying it? Hayat Tahrir al-Sham. I'll just say it in Persian accent, okay? So no, she's right. There are Palestinians in Syria. What are you talking about? Don't highlight this. We're not even talking about that. Okay. I didn't even. Oh my God, Zionist traitors. So she's basically saying the HTS is a Zionist group just because they had links to Al Qaeda, but they would say ISIS. So let's see. These are apparently the Zionists. Let me see. Oh, wait a second. Zionist traitors of Syria are going to cause the destruction of Aleppo all over again. Yeah, this is actually not the Zionists. This is not Israel. Israel probably doesn't want... Guys, let me know if you disagree with me. Israel actually probably doesn't want Assad to fall. Israel... I'll give you 3 scenarios, okay? Assad being in power in Syria and being able to control and be dominant in Syria. Scenario number 1. Scenario number 2, Assad falling and these rebels and the HTS and some other groups, the Kurds or whatever, Assad falls and then you have a power vacuum in Syria. Scenario 2. But there's a scenario number 3 that I will offer you that's the scenario that I think that is the best for Israel. But between these 2 scenarios, do you think which one would Israel want? I don't think any of these 2 scenarios is good for Israel. Israel would not want Assad to be able to have complete control and stability without any threat to him in Syria, because that way the Islamic Republic will be able to use Syria as a corridor to go through Iraq to Syria to Lebanon to support Hezbollah. So Israel does not like that. Would Israel like Assad just falling apart and Syria going on chaos, becoming chaotic? Probably not. Israel would not like that as well. Just Israel is a country that is fighting for its survival. Instability and chaos close to its borders are usually not a good idea. And also, there is no correct. Okay, so there is the third scenario that we have been having for the past couple of years, and Israel prefers the third one over everything else. Israel prefers Assad to be in Syria, but be a weak Assad, a pathetically weak Assad that can be negotiated with because he's fighting for his survival, right? And Assad that maintains enough control over Syria where these terrorist groups don't take over, but at the same time weak enough for Israel to be able to come to Syria and basically take out the Islamic Republic of Iran's positions at any time it wants. And also Assad has proven to be a pragmatic person rather than an evil person, but a pragmatic evil person rather than an ideological person. Okay, Assad is not an Islamist. Assad is not somebody who's like trying to. He's a dictator that is cruel to his people. At the same time, he's a pragmatic person that would make a deal with anybody, including Israel, if it means that he could stay in power and not have his head chopped off. He will do that. He will make a deal with anybody, right? And Israel prefers a weak Assad maintaining control over Syria. And that way, Israel will basically treat Syria like it's its own airspace and come in and do whatever it wants and basically close the bridge that the Islamic Republic is trying to build from its borders to the borders of Israel. That is, I think, the best outcome for Israel. And that's why I don't think, I think the status quo was perfect for Israel. So that's why I don't think this might not be a good thing for Israel. We'll see. Okay, let's continue. So look at this. This is a very interesting video. She has proof that these people are Zionists. Okay, Syrian Girl saying Israel-backed Al-Qaeda rebels in quotation marks. See, I knew that they don't like rebels because it has positive. There's a positive, weight to the word rebel. So Israeli-backed Al-Qaeda rebels. So okay, so when she says Al-Qaeda, this is more accurate than a lot of people because a lot of people are calling them ISIS, and that's not actually accurate. Al-Qaeda is a little bit more accurate. So Israel-backed Al-Qaeda rebels in Syria filmed themselves stepping on a Palestinian flag. Okay, so tell me what's wrong with this video, guys. What do you guys think? What's wrong with this video?
ادعس الرايات ادعس بالنصر ادعسوا ادعس الرايات ادعس بالنصر ادعسوا.
Okay, what do you guys think is wrong with this video? Okay, so we have the community notes saying that that's actually not the Palestinian flag. The community notes is saying that this is actually the Syrian Ba'ath Party flag, which makes sense for the area in the video, not the Palestinian flag. The Palestinian flag is similar to that of the Syrian Ba'ath Party, which uses the same shapes and colors, but the ratio, so the 2:3 ratio, as opposed to the 1:2 ratio. Okay, so people are saying based on the ratio, this is not the Palestinian flag. This is actually the Syrian Ba'ath Party flag. And if that is true, by the way, that's very embarrassing for the Syrian girl because she is a Syrian girl that is an ally of Syria, and she doesn't know the flag of her own party. Let me see. Ba'ath Party flag. That's weird if she doesn't know that, or maybe she does know that and she's not. Yeah, look at that. That's very close to the Palestinian flag. How does she not know that? I mean, if I was Syrian and I was supporting Assad, I would probably know that. Okay, so let's see. So you can see the Palestinian flag, the pointy thing is going in more into the white area, and the Ba'ath Party flag is basically, it's a little bit less pointy. So if we go to the video, is it pointy? Oh, is it less pointy? Or yeah, it's less pointy. Look at that. right? Am I right? Or am I seeing things? Hold on. See, you can see the red area is not going deep into the white area. Yeah. It's not like, look, it's not. Oh, wait, I'm not showing you the video. So, guys, this is the Ba'ath Party flag that basically doesn't, wait, hold on. This is the Ba'ath Party flag that the red you can see goes only this deep. And this is the Palestinian flag. The red goes deeper in. And then let's go back to the video and see how deep. Yeah, you can see that the red is not going deep into the white area. Okay, so how does she not know that? She's a Syrian girl. She has been spending, people know her for her activism in Syria. This is the party that you support. How does she not know that? This is so embarrassing. Like, it's one thing, like, you don't have to know everything about the Middle East, but if you're the Syrian freaking girl. Oh, but here's the thing. Look, this is actually more, let me watch this. Here's the thing. If this was actually the Palestinian flag, if there was the Palestinian flag, I would call this, which is not apparently, I would see this as proper Islam. Tell me in the live chat, guys, why do you think I would consider somebody stepping on the Palestinian flag or burning the Palestinian flag as more Islamic as somebody waving the Palestinian flag? Why do I think that proper Islam would be anti-Palestinian? That's my opinion. Yes, fantastic. John is getting true Islamism is anti-nation states. The concept of Palestine is a Western concept. The concept of Palestine endorses the idea of nation states. This is a liberal idea coming from the French Revolution. Okay, this is a Enlightenment, Age of Enlightenment, Western European ideology that the whole world is now been taken over by, that we divided the world into nation states. So the concept of Palestine, the Palestinian identity. So remember, we have three different identities here, right? We have the Islamic identity, we have the Arab identity, we have the Palestinian identity. And a person who understands Islam fully would hate the Arab identity and the Palestinian identity. Okay, the Arab identity is an ethnic identity, which Islam is opposed to, and the Palestinian identity is even worse because it's a Western identity. It's a nation state. The Islamic identity only cares about Muslims, and the government that they believe in, the ruling government, is not nation states like of Palestine or Afghanistan or Iran. They're supposed to have an Islamic caliphate. An Islamic caliphate that removes all these borders. If you fight for Palestine, that's an anti-Islamic position. You shouldn't, as a Muslim who understands Islam, you shouldn't be fighting for Palestine. You should be fighting for all of this area to be dominated by Islam, without any of these nations' names. Does that make sense? Anyways, so that's why this video. Let me see if I could maybe justify this video that she shared, because that one seemed to be not have been the Palestinian flag. But let's see what the HTS is doing here. I don't know if it is actually, because the Syrian girl is showing us that. But she's now here they are swearing and tearing down pictures of Al-Aqsa Mosque. So let's watch this. This is the HTS apparently. So again, I don't know who these people are. I don't know if it is the HTS. It's not the HTS. But if it is the HTS, I understand why they might have done that. Anyway, so this was the community notes. By the way, let me see if people in the comments were calling her out. Oh, he said, okay, so people are saying this is the militia faction that fights for Assad. Look for more propaganda. So again, people are calling her out and saying that the information that she's sharing is not actually accurate. But let me see if people may. This is the okay. People are calling her out for the. This is the Syrian Ba'ath Party flag. Community noted, you are a liar. Syrian girl don't know the flag of her own party. That is that is that is embarrassing. This is the Ba'ath Party flag. You propagandists. What is this? Clearly, the Zionist truce, the Israeli truce with Lebanon was a ruse to attack Syria and up to. Okay, these are more propaganda. Okay, so let's go back to more of her propaganda, see what she's saying. Let's go down. Oh, Zionist-backed Islamist rebels have occupied Syria's second city of Aleppo. Like if you're a patriot that stands with Bashar al-Assad. I think this might have music, so I'm not going to play it, huh? Does it have music? Probably has music. I'm not going to play it. Oh, this one is very interesting. Look, I want people like Daniel Hayraju to see this video, okay? Because Daniel Hayrajus, Muhammad Hijabs, Ali Dawas, I don't know, all these, because they hate Bashar al-Assad, but anything that the Palestinian leaders they say, they act like it's a revelation that you cannot dispute. You know, when they're fighting with each other, they're still like, oh, the Palestinian leader said so it must be true, okay? So I don't know how they will fix this contradiction, because look at what Yahya Sinwar said before. So listen to this, okay? So Yahya Sinwar, let me see if I could make this full screen. Yeah, okay. Watch this. Yahya Sinwar was saying when he was alive, we are working together to build the Quds Bridge. The Quds Bridge meaning the bridge that I'm talking to you about, you know, from Iran to Iraq to Syria to Lebanon. Okay, so let's see what Yahya Sinwar was saying.
ونحن نراكم لبناء محور القدس لبناء
to build the Quds Bridge
محور القدس
so that we can make peace with Syria al-Assad. Oh my, okay, the Sunnis, this is such a, oh my God, this is so bad. This is such a burning, you know, I think they will hate this. I don't know how they will respond to this. The Sunnis who support, who made Sinwar acting like he's a hero, he was a saint, but at the same time they hated Assad. How are they going to respond to this? Because he wanted to make peace with Assad, which represents one of the squares of, huh? I don't know what Hajj Ba'irtikaz. What is that referring to? And a soldier in Lebanon. Okay, so let me see what the Syrian girl was saying about that. The Syrian girl saying, what has Assad done for Palestine? They keep asking. Let Yahya Sinwar tell you. Okay, so Yahya Sinwar. So Syrian girl wants to convince, because right now within the people who are anti-Israeli, there's a division. Okay, we have the people who are anti-Israel, anti-Jewish, but they hate anything that has to do with the Islamic Republic because it's Shia. And because Assad is also part of this axis of resistance, and Assad killed a lot of Sunnis. And these people consider Assad to be a puppet of the Islamic Republic and a Shia takeover. So this is a Sunni versus Shia divide as well, right? So Syrian girl who's anti-Israeli, she is also, a lot of people push back against her who are also anti-Israeli because she is supporting another person that they consider to be a demon. So within the Sunni radical people on social media and also in the Middle East, some of them actually hate Shias more than they hate Israel. So anybody that comes with an anti-Zionist message but supports Assad or the Islamic Republic or Hezbollah, they consider them to be their enemies, and they're using the anti-Israeli narrative as a way to bring a Shia influence into the region, right? And remember, for a lot of these people, as bad as Jews are, the Shias considered to be the mushrikeen. So the Quran tells you that the greatest enemies of Muslims are the al-Yahud wal-Mushrikeen. So the Jews and the Mushrikeen, the people who associate partners with Allah. And Shias are one of those two. And to a lot of these people, the Shias are worse. So this is why she's trying to use the pro-Palestinian narrative to convince a lot of these people that you shouldn't be anti-Assad. So a lot of these people are anti-Assad. She's like, oh, you're anti-Assad? Well, your hero, Yahya Sinwar, was not anti-Assad. Okay? And to be honest, Sinwar was closer to the Islamic Republic and Assad and the whole Shia. This is why before he died, he also was talking about Hussein. Did you guys see that? Sinwar, to be able to get more support from the Islamic Republic, he was comparing the battle of the Palestinian people to the battle in Karbala by Hussein, which is completely a Shia narrative, which showed how desperate he was to get more favors from the Islamic Republic. Because to be fair, the Islamic Republic abandoned Hamas in this fight. But anyways, this is funny. Okay, so by the way, let me tell you what this is about. These people think that Turkey so Israel is United States dog, and Turkey is also Israel's dog, while pretending to be anti-Israeli. They think their conspiracy theory is that Erdogan is a puppet of Israel, but a very clever puppet of Israel, because it pretends to be anti-Israeli while it's doing its biddings, right? So this is the meme that they put, a video of Erdogan support for Palestine, right? And the reason why they think that this is all Erdogan is because in HTS is actually gets the support of Turkey. They're not a proxy of Turkey. They are more independent than other groups, in northern Syria. So the northern Syria, the groups that are there, the Syrian, which was that? They changed their name recently. Hold on. They used to they put an N in there. They were so they used to be the Free Syrian Army, but now they're the SNA, the Syrian National Army. Why do you keep changing your names? Okay, so the Free Syrian Army. This is not this. So we have two groups. Let me actually show you on the map. We have two pro-Kurdish groups maps here. Let me show you what the hell is happening on a good map somewhere here. I got this from the channel Good Times, Bad Times, if you guys want to go, right? So if you look up here, so this blue area, this is the mostly Kurdish American. This is the Kurds that are holding this area, backed by United States. Well, not as much as before, but still backed a little bit by United States. I think like there's only 1,000 Americans there left. But this is the Northeast is basically Kurdish. Okay, these green areas, this is the group with the new name, the SNA, which they used to be the Free Syrian Army. Now they're the Syrian National Army. The people at the north here, they're completely loyal to Turkey. The green part is completely loyal to Turkey. They get their direct orders from Turkey. Okay, and they're there to basically create a buffer between the Kurds and Turkey. Okay, because that's the main priority of Turkey, to basically reduce the influence of the Kurds inside Turkey. Okay, because the blue area, the Kurdish, this blue area, the Kurdish people that are fighting here against Assad and against ISIS and against basically everyone else, this is called the SDF, the Syrian Democratic Forces. Guys, there's so many acronyms here. Okay, so the green is the SNA, okay, and which is Turkey, backed by Turkey. The blue is SDF, which is Kurdish, and the main group in the SDF is the YPG, which is the Kurdish group. So SDF is a mix of different groups, but the leadership is by YPG, which is the Kurdish group, which has ties to the PKK, which is a terrorist Kurdish group, the Kurdish Worker Party in Turkey. And that's why Turkey hates this blue area, okay? And that's why the Kurds are entered Syria and created this green zone to protect Turkey from this blue area, right? However, Turkey has two agendas here. Turkey basically wants two things. Wants to stop the Kurds from having their influence in Turkey because they see them as connected. But also Turkey wants the Syrian refugees in Turkey to go back to Syria. These are the main two priorities of Turkey, right? This other group, the HTS, the Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, which is in the left corner, you can see. Why is my mouse not showing? Oh, there we go. Here, you see. So this is where all this shit is happening, right? So this is Aleppo. This is Idlib. So this group was here. These people are backed by Turkey, but not as directly as these green areas, right? So this is why this HTS group is such a freaking mess combination of a whole bunch of different groups. So you have some Al-Qaeda people. Yes, you have some Al-Qaeda people in there. You have some even some Turkish people right now that are joining this fight and helping them. You know, Turkish-backed forces. You have some more moderate groups there, but it's mostly HTS. It's backed by Turkey, but it's not as loyal to Turkey as these green areas. Okay, so why would now Turkey? So does Turkey want Assad to fall? I don't. You know, a lot of people think that this is basically because this group is basically now being backed by Turkey. A lot of people think like, okay, so what is Turkey doing? Turkey is trying to make Assad fall. People don't know how much of this is actually was ordered by Turkey, because Turkey just recently has shown some signals that they were willing to make some peace with Assad. I think that even if Turkey was supporting these groups, they weren't trying to topple Assad. They were just trying to have an upper hand against Assad so that they could, when they negotiating with Assad, they could get remember, the two main priorities of Turkey is to fight back against the Kurds and also to get the Syrians out of Turkey back to Syria. If Assad falls, this is why I think that these people who are blaming Erdogan to do Israel's bidding to topple Assad, they're full of shit. Because if Assad falls, that's not good for Turkey. Turkey's one of the two main priorities of Turkey is not to have all these Syrians coming to Turkey. Remember, Turkey had paid a huge price for accepting more refugees, Syrian refugees, than any other country. Like the demographic is changing from all these Syrians. So if Assad falls, you're going to see a shit ton more. Well, actually, I shouldn't talk about people like that. You're going to see a lot more refugees basically coming into Turkey. So why would Erdogan want that? That would be the end of his political career. So what Turkey would prefer is exactly what Israel would prefer, to have a weak Assad that you could dictate things to. So I think that was the original plan, but the HTS went forward and they were met with so little resistance that they just walked all the way through. And they were like, I think the HTS themselves are surprised of how easy it is to just walk over these areas. Like, I have some videos that I could share with you to show how they made the Assad forces, they basically didn't push back at all. This reminds me of how Taliban was taking over Afghanistan, and they themselves were so surprised. They're like, okay, well, this is just hiking to Kabul. Like, is this a war? Like, we're not. Why are nobody fighting against us? And again, the reason why nobody is fighting against them is because everyone is occupied somewhere else. On Russian Telegram channels, they were arguing that why this is happening is because Russia has removed some of its important Syrian generals that it has in Syria. Recently, they moved them to Ukraine, and we all know what happened to Hezbollah. So Hezbollah Tahrir knew that this is going to be easier than before, but not this easy. So I think this is not anyone's plan. A lot of people are like, oh, who's doing this? Why is this happening? Is Turkey doing this? Or was this pre-planned for all of this to happen? Some crazy people are saying that this is the Israel's plans. And I don't think this was anyone's plan. I think the plan was to just increase more pressure on Assad, because Turkey wanted Assad to right now to stay in power, but put so much pressure on him that when they negotiate, Assad would just have to basically accept everything that Turkey says. But all of a sudden now these people are like, okay, this is actually, we might actually take over. We might actually go all the way to Damascus. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen. Okay, so does that make sense? This is my theory. This is my theory. Let me see if the Syrian Girl said any other crazy things. No, let's actually look at some other maps before I will upload some videos for you guys to see what happened. So no, I already showed you that. Let me see if I want to show you. Okay, yes. So let me show you this map. So again, this is from the channel Good Times, Bad Times, if you're gonna go subscribe. So you can see that in Israel, so this is, you know, from Iran, from, actually let me give you a different map so you can see it, the full thing, right? From, yeah, like there, you can see some from Iran, Iraq, Syria, Lebanon. You see, this is Iran, Iraq, Syria, Lebanon. So this is the bridge that the Islamic Republic wants to build to be able to fight Israel, to send its ammunitions from Iraq, because it controls Iraq. It wants to control Iraq's politics, so that this becomes Iran's backyard. And then Syria, the reason why the Islamic Republic came and saved Assad is because Syria is a key area for the Islamic Republic to be able to build this bridge, or else it will lose its connection, because it could never have the hope to basically take over Jordan or anything like that. That's never going to happen. So Syria is Iran, the Islamic Republic's only hope. And then go to Lebanon, and get from Lebanon, you could basically give ammunitions to Hezbollah to be able to fight Israel. So that was the whole plan. And this is why Israel, for the past couple of years, has been bombing the Islamic Republic of Iran's sites in Syria, trying to reduce their ability to, and again, this is why Israel has now full control over the aerial space of Syria, basically not letting the Islamic Republic rearming Hezbollah. That's very important for Israel, right? If this whole thing falls apart, it's really bad for, if the HTS managed to make Assad fall, Europeans have to be very concerned, because there's going to be a lot more refugees coming out of Syria towards Europe. Turkey it will be a nightmare for Turkey. That's why I don't think any of these people want Assad to fall. They just want Assad to be weak. That's what I think. So I told you the main two priorities. Let's talk about the main two priorities of everyone, okay? The main two priorities of Turkey, I'd already told you, is to not get refugees out of Syria, but also to be able to create a Turkish-controlled area in the northern border, to stop the Kurds in the northern eastern part, to be able to have any connection with the Kurdish terrorist Kurdish groups in Turkey. That's the main two priorities of Turkey. The main two priorities of the Islamic Republic is the main priority is to be able to maintain this bridge, to keep Assad in power, but to keep Assad, by the way, to bring back Assad into the arms of the Islamic Republic, because Assad has been distancing himself away from the Islamic Republic and closer to Russia. So Assad has been getting support from Hezbollah, the Islamic Republic, and Russia. However, Assad knows that the support that it gets from the Islamic Republic is not the type of support it wants. It prefers the support from Russia, because the support that it gets from the Islamic Republic gets Israel involved. Do you understand? This is a very key, important thing for you to understand. Syria doesn't want Israel to constantly be coming into its airspace and bombing different areas, right? And even though Israel has been careful, when it comes to Syria, it doesn't attack Assad forces. Israel, a lot of people who think that this is Israel's plan to remove Assad, that is fucking bullshit, because Israel had plenty of opportunity for a long time right now to take out Assad, and they have not done so. it's very easy for Israel to take out Assad, but every time Israel comes to Syria, it only very specifically targets the Islamic Republic of Iran's assets without even touching the Assad's forces. And they were so accurate that some people think that maybe even Assad is communicating with Israel for Israel to be able to distinguish between Syrian forces, Assad's forces, and the Islamic Republic's forces. And Assad wants to maintain control over Syria, and it knows that the best way to do that is to not let the Islamic Republic just use its country as a bridge. So it would prefer that if instead of the Islamic Republic and Hezbollah, it was just Russia that was supporting it, so that Israel was like, okay, no problem. Remember recently, Netanyahu. So one reason why there's a lot of conspiracies for why this is actually Israel's doing, because recently Netanyahu sent a warning to Assad that if you don't close this bridge, then you're not going to like what's going to happen to you. Okay, but again, if Israel wanted to take out Assad, they would have done that directly. They wouldn't be playing these games like they go after the enemies very effectively. Why is it that when they go to Syria, they never attack Assad's forces? Okay, because they don't want Assad to fall. They don't want Assad to fall. Netanyahu doesn't want Assad to fall. I don't think he wants Assad to fall. That's why they're very surgical and they don't hit Assad's forces. Okay, that's what I think. That was just the warning is meant to basically give a signal to Assad to just basically close this bridge rather than removing him. Because if they want to remove him, they just remove him. That's what I think, right? So Iraq's priorities is to, at some point, remove the influence of the Islamic Republic in its borders. The Iraqi people do not like the fact that their country is being used as a bridge as well. The Lebanese people also would prefer for Hezbollah to not be controlling this foreign agent from the Islamic Republic to be ruling over the country. Okay, so that's their priority. And again, the main priority for Israel is to close off this bridge. Basically, the very opposite of what the Islamic Republic wants, right? Russia, what's the main priority of Russia? Russia doesn't want Syria to fall and at some point become Russia has a lot of influence in Syria, and if Assad falls, then they're going to lose their leverage, and they're afraid of United States basically being able to take advantage of the situation and basically increase their presence in the area. And Russia does not like that. Russia wants to be able to have some leverage over here, and Syria is very key for them. So Assad falling is devastating to them. But right now, they have very little resources to be able to support Assad. We will see in the next couple of hours if they're going to do anything more than what they have been doing right now. Right? So these are all the priorities of everyone. So let's see. What else do I have here? Okay. So I could give you the name of the groups. I have some videos I need to share with you guys. By the way, let me see. There are 2 super chats. Let me read them. I have some videos that from the ground. I want to share with that with you guys, but let me respond to the super chats. I was just saying, don't you think that Al-Qaeda is better than ISIS or Islamic Republic stooges? Aren't they regionalistic like Taliban? Taliban weren't a global threat. So no, Al-Qaeda is not regionalistic. Al-Qaeda is global, but the HTS, which used to be Al-Qaeda, basically the Nusra Front or whatever, right? They are a little bit, they're a mix of a whole bunch of different group of people. Even though their origins were in Al-Qaeda, the HTS is a little bit more nationalistic, more Syria focused than Al-Qaeda. So Al-Qaeda is better than ISIS. I mean, what is your definition of better? It's hard for me to define better when we're talking about terrorists. When we're talking about terrorists, the only way that you could say one of them is better than the other one is if they're weaker. Weaker means better, right? So Al-Qaeda is better than ISIS. I don't know why we're talking about ISIS here anyways. ISIS is extremely weak right now in Syria. They're not a major player as of right now. So these are the ISIS they're pretty, like in Syria, they're not that important right now. Okay, we're talking, we have the Kurds, we have the Americans, we have the Turks, we have Assad forces, we have the more moderate rebels, we have the HTS, but Al Qaeda is there, but it's not that big of a deal right now. I mean, things can change. So, yeah, Al Qaeda has been weakened significantly. But is Al Qaeda better than ISIS? Well, given that Al Qaeda is less relevant, given that ISIS is relevant right now, and Al Qaeda HTS, which is Al Qaeda-ish, is more relevant, so I guess not. Aren't they regionalistic like Taliban? Taliban were a global threat. Guys, even if these people are regionalistic, they will still be a global threat. So, for example, they don't have to. In fact, I think if they have global ambitions, they become a less threat, because that means they're insane. That means that they have ambitions that are not going to be achievable, and they basically are going to annihilate themselves at some point. Just because somebody is focusing locally, that doesn't mean they're not a global threat. Think about the damage to Western countries, for example, could be more by a terrorist group that is focusing locally than a terrorist group that is trying to do terrorist attack in the Western countries. I know a terrorist attack in a Western country gets more attention on the news, but the damage that a terrorist group can do to Western countries by focusing locally can be significantly higher. Just for example, let's say, for example, the HTS, let's just, for example, say it, right, does not have any ambitions of doing any terrorist activities anywhere in Europe, because the HTS is focused on Syria, right? However, let's say Assad falls, and we have an internal chaos, for example, in Syria, and then we get a huge tsunami of refugees all over to Turkey, and from Turkey to Europe. I would say that will change the demographics of Europe and cause more chaos in the long term, more than some ISIS terrorist attacks in Europe. So even if they're locally focused, damage could be more, could be less, could be more. I'm just saying that you don't have to only be concerned about terrorist groups that have ambitions globally. Even locally focused ones could be devastating. Let's see what Carl is saying. Carl saying, Armin, isn't Syrian Girl Christian? If you don't know, why not? The sect is everything in the Middle East. Syrian Girl is Christian? I don't know. I don't care. No. If I don't know, all I know is that she's anti-Israeli. Well, let me see, actually. Is Syrian Girl Christian? And sect is not everything. Sect is important, but it's not everything. I know she's Australian. I mean, Syrian Australian. Okay, so nope. There's no information that she's Christian. There's no publicly available information. She does not specify her religious affiliation. So there you go. So you're wrong. So me not knowing is justified, because she seems to be secular minded. She seems to be an anti-Israeli, anti-Semitic, pro-Assad, and pro-Assad. A lot of secular, pro-dictatorship. Even in Iran, there are some people who are secular, who support the axis of resistance for non-Shia reasons. I've seen those people, okay? They are fascistic nationalists, okay? So we have proper nationalism, proper patriotism, and then we have fascistic nationalism, right? So in Iran, we have some people who are secular-minded, but they are fascistic-minded, and they support the Islamic Republic of Iran and the axis of resistance and Hezbollah, not because of Shia ideology, but because they see them as the most powerful force against the United States and Israel. So these are more like Nazis, okay? So the Syrian Girl, to me, is more like a secular fascist person that is pragmatically supporting the Islamic Republic and some Shia groups. I've seen these types of people in Iran as well, right? They have no religious leanings, but they are very much like fascist nationalists. That's what the impression I get from Syrian Girl, because I've seen a lot of them. Okay, they don't care about religion, but they're very anti-Israel. They're very anti-Jewish. They are very anti-American. They're very anti-West in general, very nationalistic, and pro the Shia resistance movement, just because they are the ones who are the strongest resistance against all of they're against the global liberal order, just as a Nazi would be, right? And they see maybe the Shia ideology not only an excuse as a branding rather than a genuine ideology. Yes, Matt is agreeing with me. Syrian Girl is a fascist nationalist. Agreed. So let me actually show you some videos that I upload, and I'm going to check if there are any new videos. So this is interesting. This is the HTS group in Aleppo tearing down the Al-Khamenei's picture. So this is basically kind of Sunni versus Shia.
له شو طريقة القدس تغير. طريق القدس مو من سوريا. طريق القدس معروف وين. طريق القدس وين؟ ما هون. هون سوريا. خالص. طريق القدس تغير.
Okay. So this is a video of the same group. They are actually in Aleppo. They managed to actually take over the Islamic Republic's. Guys, I don't say Iranian because I don't consider the Islamic Republic in Iran to be Iranian. I call them the Islamic Republic in Iran. Okay, so this is the Islamic Republic's consulate in Aleppo, and basically these rebels or HTS or whatever you want to call them, they managed to take over the consulate. So let's watch this. Look, they're tearing down. What are they tearing down? They're tearing down the flag of the Islamic Republic. This is Raisi's picture. Oh, Khamenei's picture, Assad's picture.
الكفار المرتدين أو أعلام الخنازير.
Oh, wait, did you see? Did he skip over the Palestinian flag? Or is that the Baas? No, that's the Baas. Okay, so that's not the Palestinian flag. That's the Baas Party flag, because you can see the triangle is not in so deep. So why did he skip it? Did he think it's the Palestinian flag? Just watch this. Oh, see, he touched it. He almost tore it. Did he think this is maybe he thought this is too resembling the Palestinian flag? This is not going to be not good for the video. Yeah. So, did you guys see that? Do you guys think? Am I guessing this right? Do you think that he touched the that was not the Palestinian flag? That was the Baas Party flag? And am I correct about that? 1, 2, did he almost rip it apart and then had second thoughts because he thought that that's going to look bad on camera, because a lot of people are going to think that I just tore down the Palestinian flag? Is that the, I think I'm just guessing. I have no idea. I'm just guessing. Okay, so the Hezbollah flag, he's going to have no hesitation removing that. So let's watch that.
بالشيطان عندك وين تحتك انتبه. يا خميني في الزد.
So Khomeini, they turned a picture of Khomeini. Qasem Soleimani, they're gonna remove that. That's Qasem Soleimani. Oh, that's Hezbollah. That's Nasrallah. Oh, slipping on the picture of Nasrallah and Qasem Soleimani. This is the conflict. Okay, so that was interesting. Let's watch some other videos. Guys, do you want to see more videos of what's happening there? So there are people. So by the way, so this is why a lot of people are confused whether they should be so happy, they should not be happy, because a lot of Syrian people who are not like crazy religious radicals are very happy right now. They're very happy, right? So I'm talking about people who are moderate, people who just want freedom, people who are not religiously minded, people who just want Assad to fall because they're just tired of living under dictatorship. You see them. I mean, I'm not talking about this video, but there's a lot of people in coming from images, videos from Syria of happy people. Like if you see their pictures, you can see that they don't look religious, they look secular, they look liberal, and they're just celebrating that, oh my God, is Assad going to fall or not? So if you see those videos, you might be like, oh, look at this. These are actually secular, liberal-minded Syrian people that are happy right now. So should we be happy too? Because we like them to be happy. They're anti-Assad. And then the other side were like, no, you shouldn't be happy because it's the HTS that is taking over. HTS is Al-Qaeda. So that's why a lot of people are like confused. Like, wait a minute. Are we happy? Or should we be happy? Should we be angry? Should we be concerned? Who are we? Whose side are we on? These people are fighting the Islamic Republic. So are they the good guys? Oh, they used to be Al-Qaeda. So are they the bad guys? Oh, some liberal-minded Syrian people are happy because their dictator might fall. So are they the good guys? Should we be happy? So yeah, I mean, it's confusing, right? There's so many different groups here, so it's a bit confusing. That's why I'm saying, like, don't root for anybody right now. Just observe what the hell is happening, right? So they're passing out sweets in the street.
لأهلنا النصر لأهلنا بيد بالنصر اللهم لك الحمد حتى ترضى اللهم لك الحمد حتى ترضى.
Yeah. If you want to get more international support, stop saying Allah. Okay, that's not gonna do you any favor. So let's watch this one. Okay, so this is in the middle of Aleppo. That's Assad's father on a horse.
داخل حلب الجديدة الله أكبر الله أكبر الأبطال المجاهدين الآن الله أكبر.
Okay, so they're bringing down the flag. Actually, let me see. Okay, there's a lot of new videos that I haven't downloaded. Like in the past couple of hours, that kind of thing has happened. Should I download more videos? Because there's a whole bunch of new things that just happened. I saw a video that actually they destroyed the statue. Let me see if that's. Oh, so guys, this is the leader of the HTS, the group that is basically doing all of this. He just arrived with his group in Aleppo. Look at this. His name is Jolani. Am I right? Abu Muhammad Jolani, I think that's his name. Guys, they torn down the statue. Let me download this video so I can show. You saw the statue with the horse? That's Assad's father on a horse. I just saw a new video that they torn down the statue. This reminds me of when Saddam's statue was coming down. This is giving me a lot of, Iraq takeover. Like, we'll see. But look. This is the Abu Muhammad Jolani. Am I saying his name right? The leader of HTS. I think I'm saying it right, but he just arrived in Aleppo. Look at this. Wait, no music, please. No music. They're putting some badass music because they're like, look, he's with his entourage and his people. That's him. You see that? He just came out of the car. That's the guy. The fact that he just ride in a car and he just arrived in Aleppo. That's a huge deal, guys. The Aleppo hasn't been fallen to anti-Assad forces for a very long time. This is no, people didn't think that we're going to be back here again at some point. This is crazy. This is crazy that this is happening. But it's actually more crazy. Let me actually show you something more crazy. The statue has fallen. Look at this. They managed to, this is in Aleppo, they took down the statue. Wow. Okay, we have more videos, more. There's so many more things that has happened. Okay, so this is when they were just walking to Aleppo without any resistance. Here, they were just riding to Aleppo. This is their forces. I just downloaded a whole bunch of more videos. Watch this while I download these videos because there are a lot of new things that just has happened while we were talking. Okay, so here. So what's this one? That's their flag. This is basically them entering Aleppo. Okay, yeah, I don't want to see anything that might. Okay, so here's another Assad statue being taken down. Another Assad statue.
Allahu Akbar. ساعدوا الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر.
Okay, so this is they actually managed to release a lot of prisoners, and the reporter is basically interviewing the prisoners that they managed to just release.
ألف مبروك. ما بقى في سجون وما بقى في بيت الأسد. المنطقة حرة. يعني جوات قلبنا انه لولاكم كنا بعمرنا ما بنطلع. سلامتك يا عمي. الله يسلمكم يا رب. كيف حالك؟ الحمد لله رب العالمين. من وين حضرتك؟ من جسر الشغور. من جسر الشغور؟ شو جاي تعمل هون بحلب؟ كنت محبوس على النظام. كنت بالسجن؟ ايه. شو صار لك بالسجن؟ 8 سنوات. شقد؟ 8 سنوات. 8 سنين؟ ايه. شو تهمتك 8 سنين؟ ارهاب. انا كنت بلبنان، انا جاي من لبنان مسكوني حدود العريضه. اخذوني على الفرع الامن السياسي قتلوني ورجعوا لي على الفيحاء. كمان بالفيحاء قتلوني كمان وركبوا لي جرب ارهاب ان انا اشترك مجزر جسر الشغور. قتلوني ضربوني بعدين اخر شيء القاضي وقفني بسجن حل مركزي. الف الحمد لله على سلامتك. ما بقى في سجون وما بقى في ارهاب. بس بيتي يستر عليكم ان شاء الله يا رب. تجتمع مع اهلك، تجتمع مع اهلك، تجتمع مع حبايبك. الف مبروك يا عمي.
So they're happy that they're free. But guys, one thing I forgot to show you: the Syrian girl was sharing a meme to show that the people who are the Syrian rebels are anti-Palestinian. Look, she says the Syrian so-called rebels in quotation mock Yahya Sinwar on October 7th. So basically, Syrian girl, she's pro Yahya Sinwar. She's pro what happened on October 7th, right? Guys, this is a lot of you guys don't know that there are a lot of in the Middle East. We have a lot of secular-minded, non-religious people who support October 7th, support Hamas, support Hezbollah because they're anti-Israeli, even though they're not religious-minded, right? So you can see a Syrian girl herself supports October 7th, supports Yahya Sinwar, and she supports her audience, supports her to such an extent that she uses she demonstrates this meme to convince people that these rebels are not good people. Like, you can see how different their audience is from our audience, right? She's trying to demonize the people who are right now attacking Assad and the people who are supporting this attack by showing to her audience that look how evil these people are. They are anti-October 7th. They were anti-Yahya Sinwar. Like, look how evil they are. That's the argument that she's making here. Basically, we live in a completely different world than these people. But anyway, what was the meme? Let's look at the meme. So Hamas launches Operation Al-Aqsa Flood, which was the flood that basically didn't drown Israel. It basically drowned Gaza. Yep. So basically, it eventually led to the Syrian rebels' capture of Aleppo. Oh, so they basically showing that, look, these people, these so-called rebels, the Free Syrian people, they're actually agents of Israel because they're making fun of Yahya Sinwar. That's what she's arguing. Oh, actually, there was another video. Look, so another proof that she has here. This is what I wanted to show you guys, to show that these terrorists. Oh no, I shouldn't do air quotes with terrorists. They're terrorists. Al Qaeda terrorists tell Israeli Channel 1. Actually, they're not. We are grateful to Israel for targeting the positions of Hezbollah and weakening them as they raid Aleppo. Israel and Al Qaeda terrorists unite. So let's watch this, see what she has to say here. So she's saying that because these terrorists, they're thanking Israel, that shows that they're basically with each other. So let's listen to this one.
تماما بأن المحور الإيراني أصبح ضعيف وبدأ ينهار بعد القصف الإسرائيلي على حزب الله واغتيال قادته وجنوده. أيضا هنا المحور بشكل عام كان ضعيف جدا ولا توجد مقاومة والتقدم كان سريع وغير متوقع من قبل الفصائل. نحن نشكر إسرائيل حقيقة على هزيمتها.
So I don't know who's talking. So she's was that an HTS member? Was that just a Syrian that is happy that Assad might be falling? And even if one of the Al-Qaeda terrorists said that, I think that they would be they don't mean when they thanking Israel. I think they might be, if there was an HTS member, for example, or an Al-Qaeda member, my guess would be that would be mocking Israel. It's not a genuine thanking of Israel, unless this is the person who's speaking is a Syrian person that is not associated with Al-Qaeda. We don't know. So she just puts these here without any context or anything. So as you can see, based on what she posted before, she's not a source of information that could be trusted. Anyways, let me see. I had some other video here. I don't know if I should. Oh, this is kind of funny because Khamenei just recently, after Hezbollah basically was forced to accept a ceasefire with Israel, there's so many pro-Ayatollah, pro-Hezbollah Iranians that are acting like this was actually a victory. And Khamenei also came out and said this. Let me listen.
جبهه مقاومت هر اندازه گسترش داره فردا این گسترش چند برابر خواهد شد.
So he says that today, no matter how big the resistance axis is, tomorrow it will become multiplied. Like their force will become multiplied. It's going to grow much more significantly. And now a lot of Iranians are making fun of Khamenei because, so Hezbollah has been weakened, Hamas has been weakened, the Islamic Republic is losing his allies and his and their proxies all over the Middle East, and Khamenei, and they're coming out and saying like, oh yeah, we won against Israel. And then Khamenei came out and gave a speech saying that tomorrow our power is going to expand, our proxies, the axis of resistance is going to even become bigger. And right after his speech, when he said tomorrow we're going to become bigger, the day after, we're seeing that Assad might be actually falling. So a lot of Iranians are sharing this video, making fun of the predictions of Khamenei, because Khamenei's predictions, many of Khamenei's predictions have turned into the opposite. Like he has predicted so many things, Khamenei, that over the years, the exact opposite of what he has predicted has happened. So for example, he famously predicted that the United States will soon run out of oil. And then after his predictions, the United States found a lot of oil and turned into one of the world's greatest oil exporters. So the Iranians make fun of Khamenei for that prediction many times. So now they're adding this to it. The day after he said that the axis of resistance is growing, the day after we saw Aleppo falling. So we'll see.
این گسترش چند برابر خواهد شد.
Oh, look, they put on the map. So the people who made this video, so now somebody, guys, when somebody says takbir, it means he's asking the crowd to say Allahu Akbar. So Khamenei will say something epic. So Khamenei gives like an hour-long or two-hour-long speech, and every time at some point he says something that the crowd one person in the crowd considers to be epic. He will tell the crowd takbir, and takbir means say Allahu Akbar, and then the crowd responds with Allahu Akbar. And whoever made this video, the Iranians who made this video, they're making fun of Khamenei because they put the picture of Aleppo falling on the screen right after Khamenei said that. Oh, actually, I should show you this picture that you're seeing on the screen, because that's an important picture that a lot of Iranian people are using to make fun of the Islamic Republic, because the HTS, guys, is considered to be basically an Al-Qaeda group, you know. I mean, technically they disavowed and separated from Al-Qaeda, but their roots is in Al-Qaeda, right? So given that these people are not an official army of a country, and they're just a militia terrorist group, a lot of Iranians are comparing this picture, which is the headquarters of the operations of HTS, which seems very well equipped, very organized. Like this is Al-Qaeda. This is this is what a lot of people are calling Al-Qaeda. Again, calling them Al-Qaeda is not accurate now, but they're Al-Qaeda, originated from Al-Qaeda. And a lot of people are like, look at them. They have their branding very clean in the back. They have uniforms. They have these phones. They seem very, you know, they look professional. And some Iranians are comparing this when the Islamic Republic, when they were doing their operations against Israel, this was the picture from the command center from the Islamic Republic, from IRGC. And so a lot of Iranians are making fun of their regime by saying, like, how far have you fallen? This is the command center of IRGC, the official army of a supposedly powerful nation state. This was your center of operation, and this small little terrorist militia group, this is their center of operation. Like, you not even in branding, you guys even suck at basically branding. So some Iranians were making fun of that. That was fun. Okay, so last thing I want to tell to you guys is, just so that we know who's who, let me just go over the list of everybody. Okay, so we have the PKK. I created this list for you guys, so as a point of reference. Okay, so we have the PKK, the YPG, the SDF, the FSA, which is actually now the SNA. We have ISIS. We have Jabhat al-Nusra, basically Al-Qaeda in Syria. We have the HTS, which is Hayat Tahrir al-Sham. We have Assad forces. we have Hezbollah, we have Turkey, we have the Islamic Republic, and we have Russia, and we have the United States. Okay, so the PKK is the Kurdistan's Worker Party. What do they want? They want the Kurdish. They want independence from Turkey. They're considered to be a terrorist group by almost everybody except themselves. Okay, so they are in Turkey. Okay, and then we have the YPG, which is in Syria. They are the Kurdish autonomy in Syria, and they are the leader of the SDF, which is yes, the SDF. Okay, which is the Syrian Democratic Party, for the Syrian Democratic Forces. Okay, so they are the Kurds in Syria. So the PKK are the Kurds in Turkey. The YPG are the Kurds in Syria. Their goal is the Kurdish autonomy in Syria. They lead the SDF. They are connected. They are backed by United States in northeast. Maybe I should put on a map while I'm talking about all of this, huh? Maybe a map would help while I'm saying everything. Right. So we first talked about the PKK, which is the Kurds here. Can you see my mouse? No? Yeah, now you can see. So the Kurds in Turkey, that would be the PKK, right? And then the Kurds, that's the blue area. In Syria, that would be the YPG, which is backed by United States. And that's what Turkey is afraid of. This is why United States and Turkey don't see eye to eye, okay? So the SDF, which is the Syrian Democratic Forces, they are multi-ethnic, but they're mostly led by the YPG, which are basically the Kurds in Syria. And they led by the YPG. They're allied by they allied with the US, and they oppose to Turkey and Assad. So this blue area, which is the SDF and United States, they're against Turkey. They're against Assad. They're against ISIS. They're against the HTS. They're basically fighting everybody. Okay, the Kurds are fighting everybody. They're basically everyone's enemy. That's why it's actually kind of complicated, because sometimes they work with their enemies, right? Sometimes because when you're fighting so many people at the same time, sometimes you have to cooperate with your enemies. That's why even though the Kurds are fighting Assad, sometimes the Kurds and Assad unite against Turkey. And sometimes Turkey and Assad unite against the Kurds. However, the Turkey and the Kurds never unite. Okay, so this is very interesting. Okay, sometimes the Kurds and Assad unite against Turkey. Sometimes Assad and Turkey unite against the Kurds, but the Kurds and Turkey are so up against each other that they never unite against Assad. You see how much they hate each other. Okay, technically not the Kurds in Turkey. Erdogan is now trying to appease them, but I'm talking about the Kurds in Syria. Okay, Turkey will never unite with them. So now the next one is the Free Syrian Army, which opposes Assad's government. They are basically this green, like they're mostly in this green area, and they're the SNA. So the Turkey area, the Free Syrian Army, now the Syrian National Army. They keep changing their name. They're led by Turkey. They're friends with Turkey. They have a lot of Turkish fighters, and they're basically the buffer between the Kurds and Turkey. And then who else do we have here? We have ISIS that has been weakened significantly. You can see them over here. And then we have Jabhat al-Nusra, which was Al-Qaeda, used to be Al-Qaeda in Syria. ISIS one day came to them and tell, you're ISIS now. And they were like, no, fuck you. We don't want to be ISIS. We want to remain Al-Qaeda. And they fought with each other. So then the Jabhat al-Nusra eventually at some point became the HTS, which is Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, which is basically the group right now that is taking over Aleppo. I mean, them and a whole bunch of other people, but mostly the HTS. They are the group that are taking over Aleppo. You can see that there's a lot of Turkish flags around them. Are they a Turkish asset? Yes and no. They enjoy the support of Turkey, but they are not as loyal to Turkey. Like, they don't wait for their commands as much as basically the SNA, okay, or the Free Syrian Army or the Syrian National Army. Okay, so the green ones are more loyal to Turkey. These terrorists, this Al Qaeda originated HTS groups, they enjoy the support of Turkey, but they have their own ambitions. And then obviously the Assad forces are the most of the country, these red areas. They're trying to maintain control. The Assad is backed by Russia, the Islamic Republic in Iran, and Hezbollah, and they're basically the enemy of the SDF, the FSA, the HTS, and ISIS. So basically, Assad is enjoying the support of the Islamic Republic, Hezbollah, and Russia, and they're fighting the SDF, the FSA, the HTS, and ISIS. And the problem that they have is that the people who support Assad are now extremely weak. So, and then we have Hezbollah. Hezbollah uses Assad's support to be able to get ammunition from the Islamic Republic to Lebanon. But that's why they support Assad. Yeah, and then we have Turkey. Guys, this is why Hezbollah came when Assad last time almost fell. This is why Hezbollah came and defended Assad. And this is why a lot of Sunnis hate Hezbollah, was because Assad was killing a lot of Sunnis, and Hezbollah came to the defense of Assad. And the reason why Hezbollah came to the defense of Assad is because Hezbollah knew without Assad, they will not have access to Iranian support because the bridge would fall, right? And then what else? Who else do we have? I think I covered everybody, huh? Assad forces, Hezbollah, Turkey. Yeah, I mentioned Turkey, we mentioned Russia, we mentioned everybody. Okay. Oh, one video I forgot to share with you guys is this guy. This guy is the guy that I was talking about, the leader of HTS. Oh yeah, I mentioned his name correctly, Abu Muhammad al-Jolani. Okay, so this is the guy. Let's see. This is the leader of HTS. Let's see what he has to say. This is look, guys, look at the flag next to him. Oh my God. Yeah, so it's hard to like, these people are trying to act like because they know that their ties to Al Qaeda is not good for them, so they are trying to act like they're not a terrorist group recently, but having that flag next to you is not helping. Hold on, let me actually remove this. There's so many things happening here. So let me play this and see what he has to say. It says, brothers, military readiness has reached its peak. Oh, by the way, that's actually a very important point. A lot of people think that all of this was pre-planned because they're saying that they are very equipped, that they seem to be very ready. They were very ready. So it's true that these people have been preparing for a fight like this for a couple of years. That's true. But again, people have been saying that, like the analysts knew that an attack like this will happen. But again, still, people didn't think that they're going to be this successful this fast. So let's continue. Today we are in the golden age of the revolution. Let's see if he uses any Islamic narratives, because I think that they're trying to just use freedom revolutionary language. Or is he only going to use freedom revolutionary, more secular language? Or is he going to mix it with Islamic language as well? So let's see, actually. Okay, so military readiness has reached its peak. Today we are in the golden age of the revolution. I don't say this to boost morale. So guys, this is the leader of the fight that is happening against Assad right now, okay? For everyone, so I say for everyone to know and be reassured. To everyone to know and the Syrian revolution, by the grace of Allah, okay, some Islamic language, is at its best condition since 2012 until today. The Syrian revolution will, with all its components and all its pillars, had never reached what it has now reached today. Only a little remains by Allah's will. By Allah's will is just a saying, like everybody says that. So I don't know if that's considered to be religious. Until we reach Aleppo. Okay, so this is from a while ago. I see you sitting in Aleppo. Oh, when I see you sitting in Aleppo. So this was his prediction a while ago, and his prediction came true right now. It's happening right now as we speak. As I see you before me now by Allah. Okay, so they're basically showing that to see how confident he was when he said that and how what he said became true. Okay, so we have a super chat. Great Red Menace is saying, "You're such a Zionist shill." Oh, well, thank you. Don't you see that retreating? If I'm a Zionist shill, why are you are a funder of Zionism. You just funded a Zionist channel. So from now on, please understand that you are a funder of Zionism. I mean, I am a Zionist. I'm proudly a Zionist, and you are a funder of Zionism. Thank you for the support. So super chat say, don't you see that retreating from half of Syria is a masterful victory for the resistance? Oh, that's you're joking. Okay. Okay, I should have read the whole thing. This was satirical. Okay, yes, I am seeing that. I mean, nobody is that stupid, so this is obviously satire. But yes, this was don't you see that retreating from half of Syria is a masterful victory for the resistance? Yes, of course. This is the Shia way of looking at everything. Okay, so guys, the Shia way of looking at the world is that when somebody shoves a sword up your ass, you look back at them and you tell them that, oh, I have been victorious. I have captured your sword with my anus, and now you have shit on your sword. And you have to clean your sword from my shit. And that's why I'm victorious. Like my anus is so powerful that it's captured your sword from your hands. Okay. This is the Shia way of looking at the world. So yes, I can see how your analysis is actually rings true from a Shia mindset. Thank you so much for your support. Supporting Zionism. Okay, so let's see. Jason is saying, so the ultimate question becomes, once they won locally, which way do they turn their weapons, towards the Iranian regime or towards the Jewish states? That's to be determined. Honestly, these people are more anti. The HTS is more anti the Islamic Republic's influence, the Iranian regime's influence, than they are against Israel. Their priority, they're anti-Semitic, of course. You have to be if you want to be properly Muslim, but they are more anti the Islamic Republic by far than Israel. Okay, so because Israel doesn't want. Here's the thing. Okay, the Islamic Republic wants to come and control Syria, right? They know that Israel doesn't have any ambitions. Israel just wants to protect its borders. Israel doesn't. If Israel is in Syria, it's because the Islamic Republic is in Syria. If the Islamic Republic was under Syria, Israel would not be in Syria. So they see these are. I know these are Islamists, and their ideology is Islamist, but they're also Syrian, and they have been. They've seen. They consider all of the. They want to be free from whoever is controlling their country. They want this area to be controlled by themselves. And who has taken Syria away from Syrians? Has Israel taken Syria away from Syrians? No. If Israel is in Syria, is to attack the Iranian regime's assets. So they know that Israel would not be in Syria if the Islamic Republic was not there. So their agenda is more short-term focused. Yeah, sure. If you sit down with them and ask them, would you want to destroy Israel? They say, yes, God willing, one day, I don't know, we will become powerful enough to wipe out the whole world from kufr and all of that bullshit. They will say that. But, their mindset is like, we need to free Syria and control Syria. And who's taking that away from them? It's the Islamic regime in Tehran. John is saying, yes, the HTS are notable for crushing Daesh. So they Daesh, for people who don't know, it's ISIS. They also repress secular activists and other rebel groups like the SRF and Harkat has. Yeah, but right now they're working with them. Right now, the movement towards taking Aleppo is a mix of a whole bunch of different group of people led by the HTS. But yeah, let me see. Somebody, where is this from? Is this from Twitter? Aryam is saying, "Hey Armin, you should let me have a conversation with you about this." Why? I don't know why. I don't know why has this been stuck. You could have a conversation by joining the YouTube chat and putting comments there, and Gene here will highlight your comments, and we will have a conversation like that. I can't just have conversation with anybody all the time. I'm busy. I'm a busy person. Anyways, guys, make sure if you're new here, make sure you subscribe to Atheist Republic on YouTube. Make sure you like the stream. Make sure you leave a comment. Tomorrow we're covering the news with Susanna. We're going to cover 5 different news items with Susanna. So make sure that you have the notifications on for that. Don't forget to like before leaving. Okay, don't forget to like before leaving. It's very important. This channel is to grow. On this channel we bring a perspective that you don't see from other channels. Okay, I think it's very valuable. And I'm an Iranian. I'm a Zionist. I'm an ex-Muslim. I'm in touch with a lot of people from that region, and I see all sides of things. So if you want to see the perspective of a lot of different groups from the ground, this channel is a very good channel to be subscribed to. So make sure you subscribe. Make sure you recommend the Atheist Republic channel to your friends and to your enemies. Well, thank you guys. Thank you. Yes, you're growing. Yes, thank you guys. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna go follow what the hell is happening, because things are changing extremely fast. Like, I'm seeing new videos coming every second. Like, I could keep sharing videos with you guys for. Let me know if you want to do, if this escalates, if you wanted me to do a part 2 with updates. Okay. So, anyways, guys, bye. Stay liberal. Mwah. And stay Zionist. Don't forget to like.